Hello there, Internet. I'm trying an experiment. So, I've been doing live streams for a while over on YouTube, and that sort of worked. It was just basically to keep my account active until I figured out what I was doing. And I haven't totally figured that out yet. But I thought I'd talk to you about some things I have figured out. So, here, hi there, and up there, this is me deciding, after drawing and inking 10 pages of Dream Life Book 2. For context, Dream Life Book 1 it was originally done ink on paper and then washes. Fairly traditionally, I did pencils and often cleanups of pencils that I would make blue lines then of and um, ink over. So a lot like what I'm doing here with the blue line printing. This is not on my printer. I've got a large format Office Brother color printer. It's not a very good color printer. It's a decent scanner, but a great blue line thing, and it's a tank. I can ignore it for months, and then it works fine, no problem. I was supposed to get back to this book a long time ago. Story for another day. But I've been getting into it recently, and I was experimenting with trying to redo it. Not redo it, change up my process and do it digitally. I've done some other stuff digitally, and there are things about it I liked, but then I started working full time in animation since the summer of 2020, the fall of 2020, and the pandemic, and that took a lot out of me. And it also meant that the tablet was always in the way, so I couldn't use traditional media as easily. I've since put them on arms and things so I can swing them out of the way, and I've got 2 desks that I can work on potentially, but I have this one set up full-time, committed just for traditional work the last year, and I've been doing a little bit here and there, but haven't got into a regular routine because the full-time day job. But I've set a goal for myself to get Mind Engine Ignition Sequence, which is the first book, out for festival season this spring. I've got a table for sure at FBDM. I'm waiting to hear back about others I've applied to. And for that, I'm going to be launching Mind Engine Ignition Sequence, which is going to be a personal anthology collection of stuff I'm working on. A big chunk of it is going to be Dream Life stuff. I've got over 30 pages roughed out. We'll see how much of that I can get done, but the goal is to take the first 10 that I finish digitally, treat them as blue lines, and ink them just black and white. No tones for now. That comes later when I collect them. For now, for Mind Engine, quick black and white line art, and that's a policy I'm using for a lot of stuff that I do on the page. This is more work for the box. It's a fantasy story I'm working on. Let me adjust my camera so you can see the rest of that page. Or you're better. I'll just hold the page in a more advantageous angle. More blue lines printed from pencil roughs that were done smaller. I have a ton of stuff printed out, ready to go, ready to roll. I have a ton of thumbnail roughs that I've done digitally to now pencil over. And under here, I've taken all the stuff that was done already and prepped it as blue line for inking. This is a process that I developed a while back and like quite a bit. And I'm just really, so first with the day job, working digitally all day, I want to change a pace and do things. I need to break the day up. I need to go for walks more often. But then when I get back, I want to do something with on paper with my pens and my brushes. And so that's what I'm doing. Not sure what stuff that you might have seen me working on will end up being in the first Mind Engine. I'm working on a pile of different stuff, and there was a version of, had I been more productive the last couple of years, I might have put out a monster first anthology. It still might be pretty big. I'm going black and white to make it much cheaper to produce, so it'll be very similar actually to what I just do with Dream Life. there it is. I have a spot for it. I'm gonna put back in its spot. Uh, this is like a trade paperback, black and white printing. So I think I'll go with a similar format. I've got a cover already tentatively done, and if it's even half as thick as this, I'll be pretty happy. Which I think I can do, but I need to wrap up some stories. And I've been working on them slowly over the last few years, but things really kind of grind to a halt. I was getting some stuff in the box done now and then. I did some fantasy art that'll be fun to throw in the middle. But I want to get back into somewhat of a routine with comics, which is also why I thought I should probably update Substack with this and generally kind of give myself some accountability. Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm not going to get too much into focusing on posting and updating regularly the way I used to, but it seemed like a good time to put this out there and say, this is in the works. And I might do some more live streaming of this sort of stuff. Substack also have added a feature that integrates YouTube more, so I'm going to look at that. I don't know if that's something I'll use. But mostly I wanted to sort of do this without any setup and worrying about other shit. So there won't be a lot of posting and prepping stuff, just drawing. It's nice to revisit some of this stuff because there were things I didn't like. I found stiff, especially the first few pages. And there's things that I think I overworked. Yeah, that's about it for that, I think. That's all I need to really say. I've got, I'm going to share some other stuff with this update on the Substack. And this video will show up on YouTube, I think, if I do this right. So if you go to YouTube, you'll be able to see this on its own. And if you're seeing it on YouTube, look for the link to Substack in the description text. Yeah, let's turn that down just a wee bit. So is there anything else I need to say about all that? Is that everything? It's most of the things. It's been a lot going on the last little while, and my brain thinks of many things we could talk about, but I don't want to get into that. I want to keep this focused and simple. Comics are on the table. I'll record some of the process and occasionally post chunks of that, but I don't think I'm going to do much live stuff and or social media stuff too much. Just Substack and YouTube, and then like maybe some updates to Blue Sky and stuff like that. I do have an Instagram, but it's friends only now. There's a pretty big chunk of people who follow me on it from before it was, but and if you find me and want to follow me, you're interested in my art, you could probably do that. But I'm not using it as much for my art because of the whole training AI thing for Meta. Yeah, I need to talk about that soon. I posted some podcasts about my thoughts about AI early on when that was starting to blow up, and I had mixed thoughts, and they have become less mixed since. You'll the last post on here you'll notice that, but there's been progress, developments in my thinking about it, and many other things. I hope this finds you well, and I will see you around internet. I hope that 2025 is kind to you. I know there are a lot of reasons to fear that it won't be. What can I say? The goal for me is to, not totally shut out the world, but focus on getting some personal stuff done after a long couple of years doing commercial work, which I'm still doing. I still work in animation full time for the time being. And that's good, but I want to balance things out a bit more with the personal pursuits. A lot of it was just having to stop and think about what I wanted to be doing and rediscover my motivation. We'll talk about that another time. Take care.